What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I am your host, Reckless Rexx Ruger. That, of course, if you couldn't tell by that beautifully coiffed mustache, is my silent sidekick, the Alexis Arguello puppet. We are back with another banger of an episode. You know how we get down here, the most amazing and real boxing conversations anywhere on planet Earth. Legends, luminaries, world champions, and fighters on the rise, all coming here to chop it up with your boy Reckless Rexx. And today is no different. We are having a gentleman on who just showed up and showed out last week and earned a new fan with me. I must admit, knew of him, but really, and I think this is going to be the general consensus with boxing fans who tuned in. He fought, of course, on that amazing Jesse Bam Rodriguez Fumalela Cafu undercard against Austin Ammo Williams. I'm speaking, of course, of my guest who will be in here momentarily, IVAN VAZQUEZ. And they stole the show. Specifically, IVAN stole the show in a losing effort on paper, but a huge upside despite losing. A huge moral victory, in my opinion. Certainly won over the fans. I'm sure boxing journalists, his peers, promoters for potential fights on down the road. A big victory, certainly in the court of public opinion, which really matters in the boxing world. This gentleman really created a buzz for himself in the performance that he put on. And we'll talk more about that when he gets in here. But and not to mention, well, he's here now. So we will get into it and we will chop it up with him. Super honored and super happy to have him on, man. So let's get down to it. Enough of me yammering. IVAN, how are you, man?
Hey, how are you? Good.
I'm good, man. I listen. I appreciate you doing this, man. It really is an honor having you on here, man. So thank you so much. And I must say, doing what I do and doing this podcast and having done north of 260 episodes, I must admit that I was familiar with you, man.
Okay.
But more on a peripheral of a basis. But you really, truly, on that undercard, stole the show and really gained a huge fan in me, and I think probably a lot of boxing fans.
Yeah, I think so too. I think obviously my first 13 fights. That was my 14th. Everything was locally here in Houston, so the eyes that were on me were Houston-based people. But
Right.
like you said, finally I got out into Frisco, into the big stage, the zone being televised by the zone, and just being in that stage, it brought a lot of different eyes into what I do. So I very grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah, I was just saying in my little intro before you popped in here, man, that certainly probably amongst your peers and possibly promoters, you know what I mean, for future fights and for future events. And most importantly, I think in the court of public opinion, I mean, like I would look at, despite that being a loss on paper, as being a big moral victory, though.
Yeah, it really does. My wife helps me with that a lot. The week right after, I was a little bit down. I think about it, and I'm just like, dang, I almost had it. I'm there, but in hindsight, seeing all the positive out of that is like I gained, like you said, I gained a lot of fans, which I think I did. A lot more viewers with matchmakers, promoters. So it was in quotes, it was a win there as well.
Now, I'm curious where you stand on this, man. You're currently 31 years old, but having only 14 fights, man, do you feel like a young 31? Where do you feel like you are in terms of your prime?
I think so. I think I am. I haven't pushed my body, I guess, or I haven't been through those wars, those 10, 12-round wars. So I still feel fresh, honestly.
Now, to remind people exactly what happened, you, of course, fought on the undercard of the Bam Rodriguez Fumalela Cafu was the main event that night. I would say that you and Austin Ammo Williams pretty much stole the show in what ended up being a classic fight that was stopped in the 9th round. But it seemed like it wasn't so much stopped on the fact that you were getting beat, more speaking to the fact that you just seemed exhausted. But you had been training for a 6 or an 8 round fight.
Six rounder, yeah, six rounder.
Yeah, a 6-round fight. So how did the fight with Austin come about for people that don't know? Were you a late replacement?
Yeah, so I get a text from a buddy Wednesday morning. I had just came back from a workout, and he goes, "Hey, bro, they're looking for you." I was like, "Who's looking for me?" Yeah, it was messing with me, you know. And I was like, "Oh, they want you to fight Ammo," and I was like, "Dude, I'm about to fight Saturday already. Like, I'm selling tickets for this fight. Like, everything's done. I'm setting paper. I'm ready to go." And then I told him that within 3 hours, I want to say 2 3 hours, they double the price, the purse, and I was like, "Dude, let's go for it."
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, I always as a beat side fighter, you have the lower hand, but at this point, I knew Ammo. We sparred before.
Yep.
I was already quote unquote in shape. Obviously not for a 10 rounder, but I was already in camp. Uh, what else? There's just a lot of things that were playing out, and I was just like, dude, let's go for it. So Thursday, I made my drive out from Houston to Frisco Thursday morning, and
And
thought that
now you make the point that Ammo was in shape. Obviously, boxing fans who tune into this know who Ammo Williams is. He's only lost one fight. He certainly is considered. I don't know if you still consider him a prospect, but he's certainly a world title contender. He's spoken about in those type of situations. You just mentioned that you were familiar with him, your sparring partners. To what extent how familiar are you? Because then in the post fight interview, Austin acted like, "Geez, this was hard for me, man. I'm fighting my friend." Like, would you consider him a friend, training partner? Like, what is your relationship with Ammo?
a good training partner. Obviously, when he was here in Houston, he like throughout his amateur and the beginning of his pro career, he was here in Houston. So I would show up to main boxing gym and we'll spar. He was always there. Obviously, he was getting ready for a fight. I was getting ready for a fight. So we we were there at the same time. So yeah, we got to know each other. His dog. He loves his dog. And then out of that, he started moving. I want to say he went to Florida now. He's living in Florida. So I haven't seen him in like 3 4 years, honestly.
But you did make a point in the post-fight interview, though, that your sparring sessions were pretty epic, and eyes were on you in the gym.
Yeah. Honestly, just like the fight, and that's how a lot of the sparring sessions went. Just like that. Yeah. Before, I want to say he had a more his combinations were a little bit more I can't, how can I explain this? He will throw more punches, more combinations, but I feel like now that he's fighting a 10 12 round fight, he's not, obviously he can't be doing that almost every round. And I think that him coming down like that benefited me, which I was able to pick out some of his shots. But then eventually I just ran out of gas. He was ready for, obviously he was getting ready for a 12 rounder actually.
And do you feel like how close this fight was? Because I don't know on people's scorecards. I enjoy scoring fights at home. It's what I do. I do this podcast. I try to immerse myself in as much boxing as possible. I gave you the first 4 rounds. At the very least, 3 of the first 4 rounds. So in a 10-round fight right there, you're almost halfway there. And then there were a lot of nip and tuck rounds throughout there. Do you feel like you were able to fight him that close because of that history? Do you feel like maybe like you already knew his bag of tricks, for lack of a better term?
Yeah, I think so. I think with and it's like the saying, the styles make fights,
Sure.
So I think I had the style. Well, I try to have the style for every fighter that I get. But essentially my just basics, punching and not getting punched. We practice a lot of counters, a lot of different type of counters for different punches.
Yeah.
So I could counter it like 30 different ways, So we practice that a lot in the gym. So I knew he was very aggressive, which plays to my advantage of countering shots. So I think, obviously with the history, I know he's big with the left hand, his two, so I was able to slip outside and throw a 2 of my own a lot of the
Now,
time.
the copy box numbers, though, were extremely close. A few categories even in your favor. But before the fight, you stopped in the 9th round. Are you getting a sense that I'm close in this fight? Maybe I'm even winning this fight?
I never thought about it. I never really thought about like what was the scorecards or anything. Honestly, I didn't even know it was the right number 9. I think the fight was going through like really fast. For me to, oh, sorry,
That's all right.
it was just going really fast for me. Uh, so I didn't. Looking back, thinking back at it, I can't remember if I don't. It didn't cross my mind knowing if I was up or down in the cards.
Have you had a chance to watch it back?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. It was close. I think, like you said, after the 5th, 6th round, he made an adjustment.
Yep.
Of letting his hands go a little bit more, which played to his obviously benefit. And I also stopped throwing a lot of jabs. And
yeah,
me not throwing those jabs also caused me to just sit there and be more of a sitting target. And like exhaustion playing a part of this, I wasn't able to move as well with my footwork. Like in the first 4 or 5 rounds that I was hitting and moving. So just adjustments, man.
Because there certainly was a sense of urgency in between rounds. His cornermen were really getting on him, man. You know what I mean? Like they didn't like what they were seeing out there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like their corner as well, everybody, even the commentators, honestly, everybody was looked past me. Nobody knew what, obviously, like I said earlier, nobody knew what I had or what I'm capable of. Just the Houston locals that actually seen me fight here.
Yeah.
And obviously now a lot more people will know what I'm about.
And that was why for this interview, I wore the honorary 5th Ward Posse hat for you.
Hey, there you
I know
go.
you might not be in the 5th Ward, man, but I have been made somewhat, having Reggie Johnson on here, somewhat of a 5th Ward Posse honorable member, I think.
Right there, yeah.
I hope so.
There's a div. Actually, I think it was George Foreman that owned it. PAA.
Yeah.
Right there. And I remember being a kid and I'll be doing sparring wars there. You know, I was the kid, the outsider, you know. So everybody was trying to hit on me harder than everything. So.
And how early did you get into boxing, man? If I can backtrack for a little bit in your career, man, when did you get started? When did you get a pair of gloves on?
I want to say, well, my dad was a boxer himself, and then he started coaching. So earliest I can remember was maybe 6.
Okay, so pretty early in life then. Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up fighting. I started fighting when I was 8. Took a little break, and then started back again when I was 14. And since then, I haven't stopped.
And obviously, you know, you said your father was a boxer, but other than that, were you watching a lot of boxing? And were there guys on TV that you were watching and wanted to emulate? You know, when we're young, we have those sports heroes that we look up to.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, my dad he was really big on DVDs back in the day, and even VHS. He'll put a lot of Tyson. He had a lot of Tyson VHS.
Yeah.
Ali, obviously. But for me, as a Mexican side, Ricardo Lopez, Finito Lopez, he's like a 109, 112,
Yeah.
small dude. Juan Manuel Marquez, obviously, those guys. I really enjoy those combination punches from them and counterattacks, obviously.
And so, what would you like to see? What would you like to see come of this? You know, being the fact that you gave such a great account of yourself. You know, where do you feel like this puts you? In terms of going forward, what would you like to see happen?
Man, I'm stuck in, you know, the big dilemma now of me getting the taste of that big shows now. Know what's that about, knowing that I'm capable of keeping up with those guys. And it's that, or I wish maybe I could get like a B side, A side, A side, those type of guys. Maybe a promotional couple fight deal, three fight deal. Who knows how they work that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, trying to stay active, I guess. Locally, I might be fighting here in September, but with this, like I said, with the taste of what I've gone already this past fight, it's hard to decide which route to take.
Well, obviously, promoters are gonna sit up and take notice like that. You know, the style that you fought, certainly like appeals to somebody like a Turkey Al Sheikh who's putting on these big cards. I mean, like you're right up his alley, man. Like a guy that's in there in the pocket, man. You're putting on amazing and you know, exciting performances.
Yeah, so like you said, I mean, it was crazy to me having, Eddie Hearn right there in the background when we're doing the face off and everything. So it's like you said, it's already big cards, and I should be there, like you said, in their alley, and maybe I'll get a call somehow.
Now, what would you describe, for people that didn't see that fight, how would you describe your style? Is that the style that you usually fight, or were you comfortable because you knew ammo and you figured I could stay right here, and fight him in a phone booth? I know his bag of tricks or whatever. Because you do have 11 wins. 8 of them are by knockouts. So I think a lot of people would look at your record on paper and say, well, he knocks out most of the guys that he fights or whatever. Is that a fair assessment of what you do, or do you feel like, hey, I'm more of a technical boxer? Hey, I've got other layers to my game. Hey, I can do this, this, and this. I want to be known for that.
I think with, like you said, with my record being known like that, I think a lot of people have that assumption of me being just a straightforward just hitter, a power hitter. But I do consider myself more of a counter puncher of a
Yeah,
boxer, and like you said, technical. There are some times where you do exchange and you get into a phone booth fight, which obviously I don't want to get into too many
right,
times. It's boxing. You don't want to get hit as much, but just something about getting punched and you're just in there. You just
right,
ready.
right.
Like, come on, let's do it. With the better technical punching and just everything behind technique of punching, I think I could get. I have the advantage on certain people. Once we're in there, I'm throwing a shorter
Yeah,
combination.
yeah.
So I do consider myself, like I said, a counter puncher and with some pressure.
Yeah, I think Austin. I think Emma Williams would agree with that, man. You seem to hit him with that counter right hand, man, at will, man. That was really, really, really working for you. Is that something? Is that something specifically, that you went to, because it had worked in the past? Is that something that you recalled? Was that kind of a callback from the sparring? Is that something you were able to hit him with in the past?
Yeah, for sure. That's
Yeah,
something I've certainly tagged him a lot in sparrings. Yeah, the funny story that after the fight, I went in the back with him, started talking, and then we were reminiscing on sparring. How
yeah,
his coach here in Houston, Dwight, he will tell him to throw that too, and he was like, he's waiting on it. I'm like, I know, I'm waiting on that too for him to throw
yeah.
that too, for me to throw that
Right.
too. So a bunch of styles, but we do practice that a lot in the gym with my dad. Just if it's a orthodox fighter, we'll slip outside the jab and throw a two behind. So it's just a little different, waiting for a two from a southpaw and
Right.
stepping outside and throwing a two.
And now you fight at middleweight. Do you feel like that's home for you, or are you open to moving to other weight classes?
I've been before this, so I've done 4 at 54 at super welter, and so I bounce back and forth. I feel like I'm a quote unquote small middleweight.
Yeah.
I remember starting in my career, I was at 160. I was weighing in at 56, 57, without any issue. And then so I pushed myself the next 4 or 5 fights to 54. There at 54, I'm still doing weight right, everything. Just I think the next day the recovery part is not ideal with the 150.
Right.
So I think 160 should be more at home, more at base.
That feels comfortable for you. And now let me switch gears off of your own career for a minute, man, and just get your opinion on some of the current stuff going on in boxing right now. Talk about another Mexican guy, man, who's got a big fight coming up, Canelo, man, against Crawford. How do you see that fight playing out?
I don't know. I'm a fan of Crawford as well. I love his style. He's a dog, but he also could punch in between your shots. So like a counter puncher. But I think just the weight classes, it's gonna be a little bit too much for Crawford. I think no matter what he lands on Canelo, it'll be nothing compared to what he faced against Vivo or those big 175, 168ers.
Yeah.
So I think I kind of see it more like I think he'll do better, obviously, than Amir Khan Canelo. I remember that fight. Amir Khan was winning the first maybe 5 rounds,
Yeah, then
being
he
really
went to
smart, and then he one shot.
Yeah.
I do think Crawford does have a better chin, and he's not that acceptable to getting hit like that. So I don't know. Decision wise,
Yeah.
maybe Crawford take it, but I'm going for Canelo. I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. And it looks like Canelo looks a little more dialed in. You know, I mean, he's gotten a lot of
Right.
criticism for like his choice of opponents for the last couple of years, and everybody's saying, "Oh, Canelo hasn't looked, amazing in quite a long time." Like you're talking about that Amir Khan fight back when he was clocking dudes and really putting them out or whatever. But it looks like this one's really gotten under his skin, and it looks like he's really locked in for this one.
I think so too. I agree with that because he does. He does do more locked in, and he's not very out there as he was in the last fights. I think
Yeah,
he's more into just training, not social media stuff.
yeah.
So that should bring a different beast out of that.
I think it's different when you have Bud in front of you than when you have William Skull or John Ryder in front of you. You know what I mean? Like I think Bud brings a little more out of you.
Right. So you do have to train for Crawford, like you said, not
yeah.
The
What about these Jake Paul events? You seem like an old school kind of throwback style fighter, man. Do you like what he's done for boxing? Do you like what he brings to the table?
Yeah, yes or no? I didn't like the way he was coming up. I mean, I was in the same boat as him, and he's already making millions of dollars with it.
Right.
Where's our stuff? We had to do it literally through the ground, through the mud, and everything. He had the upper end, but he's definitely bringing a lot of attention to boxing to this younger generation, which I think obviously most of them that generation knew him as a YouTuber, or
right
making content. So different eyes, which is good, and I mean now it looks like he's doing something right. Like he has the best trainers, I'm sure, dietitians. He's on top of it, but so 50-50 with that.
Now, I'm curious where you stand on. I've asked other boxers that I've had on here their opinion, man. How do you feel when you come out of the ring? Now, you have 2 draws on your resume. How do you feel when you come out of the ring and you have a tie in a fight with another guy? You know what I mean? Does it feel, how do you process it in your mind? Does it feel like a win? Does it feel like a loss? Does it feel like, God, nothing happened here tonight? Nothing was decided? What does it feel like?
So the 2 draws that I had 2 different feelings. The first draw that I had, I was pretty content. I was like, okay, thank you for that draw.
Yeah.
That's one of my hardest fights. That was a tough fight. Similar, it was a 6-rounder, so there's not much. I have to be almost perfect at 6 rounds. I think I won the first 2, and he took the next 4.
Yeah.
But that 6th round, I hurt him with a body shot, similar to what I did with Ammo that I hurt him. And I was just pressing him the last round. So I think that last round gave me the draw, the 3-3. And then the second draw, I really thought I won it. I really thought I won. I know it wasn't my best performance, but that one I thought I won. Honestly, the first one I was happy for a draw.
You're happy to get out of there with
Yeah. Thank you. But yeah,
and now
I thought I won. So, but.
And now, where did you stand? On, or like, what was your opinion on, going back to the Ammo fight when, he got a point deducted, but it seemed like he hit you in the old, baby maker a couple times, or for our Mexican fans out there, the huevos. It seems like he went downstairs a couple times. Did it feel deliberate in there, or did it feel accidental?
The first one, looking back at the replay, that was really low. That was like.
Very.
You have your cup and you have a lot of like padding around your waist.
Yeah.
That one struck me right on the cup. So that one, I don't know. And it seemed going back and you hear the commentator saying, and it kind of did look like he was going through some hard time.
Right. And I don't want to knock Ammo because I don't think Ammo is generally known as a dirty fighter. He's not.
I've never heard nothing dirty up for him. But like I said, the thing that does calm me down, knowing that the next low blows were obviously on the cup. They were a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that took some gas out of me. That was the first one really did hurt. That one, yeah.
Yeah, I get to, yeah, I can tell. And so, a lot of guys, when they get in the sport of boxing, they kind of have goals, they have their sights set on things they want to accomplish. Like we saw, I always use Manny Pacquiao as an example. He achieved a lot over many weight classes. And then we see a guy like Terrence Crawford, not as many weight classes, but he kind of hones in on getting all the belts, becoming undisputed. Like what kind of goals have you set, man? Like what would you like your legacy to be? What would you like to accomplish?
Honestly,
because obviously there's a lot of guys that aren't in it for the belts. They just like to make great fights, or they just like to be like, well known. That maybe some of them just want to make a nice living for their family or whatever. I mean, like, what are you trying to attain in the sport?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, once I started my pro career, I never looked past anything. Honestly, my goal was ever to make enough money to get a house. Buy a house.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that man being a world champion, if that man being whatever kind of champion, it didn't matter. It was just making enough for a living for my family.
Yeah. Yeah. And now have those goals changed now? Have those goals changed now that you know?
Yeah, I think I still have the same goals, honestly. But knowing that I was in a 10-round fight, which Ammo was, I want to say he was ranked number 6 in the world.
Yep.
Compared to like 130, 40 something that I was, it makes me realize how close I am.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just mixed emotions. It mixed emotions, honestly.
And now before that fight, did you feel like because you're alluding to the fact, like you're saying, okay, based on the performance against Ammo, it really catapulted me into this sense of this feeling that I belong with the upper echelon of fighters. Did you not feel that before? Do you feel like this fight really did something like for the confidence that was not there before?
Yeah, so my wife will tell you this more than me, but I doubt myself a lot. I'm a very big, and I think this fight, there's where I grew on that sense. A lot of mental. Just when I took the fight itself, there was a lot of self-talk, self-motivation in myself, and I didn't believe I was up there, but now that I got past this fight, it makes me believe that I am. Just seeing sparring, just seeing just different things that I'll be doubting myself, or comparing myself to others or whatnot, but
yeah.
After this fight, obviously, like I said, like the press conference, the face-offs, everything they do, I had a lot of sense of self-confidence, and that helped me a lot, honestly.
It sounds like your wife needs to be a boxing trainer.
Well, she knows, she has her masters, so she's a great listener, and she helps me a lot.
I've got a good woman behind me too. It does help. It really does. It really does. It does. And I can certainly relate. I'm a big self-doubter. I mean, I'm always looking at the glass half full instead of, or half empty, I should say, instead of half full. I mean, I tend to be very pessimistic and don't always see the silver lining in things sometimes. It needs to be pointed out to me quite often.
Yeah, and there's where my wife kicks in. She tells me that I'll drown in a cup of water. That's me.
Yeah. And so going forward, well, first of all, BoxRec has you scheduled a fight again September 13th, which ironically is the same day as Canelo Crawford. Are you on that card?
No. Hey, I might get a call, a last minute call again.
You might be the next Josh Padley. I mean, for God's sakes, he got inserted against Shakur Stevenson back in February and changed his life.
He did his thing, yeah. He did his thing, So no, that's actually a local fight here. We're still trying to negotiate stuff, and we'll see how it goes.
But you are willing to say you are available to be on the Canelo Crawford fight, though.
I'll be ready.
You mentioned that you took the Ammo fight on short notice, man. Has that happened to you in the past? And how short of notice is too short?
Yes, there's another green flag that we looked at for this Ammo fight. So I've gotten calls before, within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But in those 2 weeks, I was not in the gym. I was have to get back into the gym.
Yeah.
4 months, 4 weeks, 3 weeks. For me, ideally, this was a 6-week camp. Obviously it was not enough, but so the ideal for me is 6 weeks, obviously, and that's like almost starting from scratch. So like I said, that was another reason why we took it. We did get a call while being in camp. It has never
Yeah.
happened before. It was always within a
Right.
week, 2 weeks, for me starting to get ready. So yeah, I think, I mean, if being honest, if I like I said, if I wasn't in camp, I would have not taken that fight. But the stuff happened for a reason. So
Yeah. Well, as I said in my intro before you popped in here, though, I firmly believe that, especially in the sport of boxing, whereabouts you're ranked or who you fight and this and that, boxing is really one of those sports where, the court of public opinion really does matter. You know what I mean? It's a very subjective sport, and you go out and ask 50 people right now who the best boxer is in the world right now, you could get 50 different answers. You know what I mean? So I think that carries a lot of weight. It gets, a performance like that gets people talking in the boxing chat rooms on social media. Oh my God, this guy really showed out that night. You know what I mean? Like, who would have seen that performance coming? He was putting it on Austin Ammo Williams, man, for a lot of those rounds. You know what I mean? You get people talking, you generated interest, and then that spills over, I think, to, possibly put, to promoters and to people putting cards together. A performance like that kind of sticks out. Like, holy shit, man, we need some active fighters, man. What about that guy that fought Ammo? You know what I mean? It kind of builds a groundswell for you.
Right, yeah, I remember a buddy of mine right after the fight. He would like send me screenshots from with Twitter or X. And there were a few comments saying that how well I was doing in the fight.
Yeah.
They should give me another shot and stuff like that. I was like, okay.
Well, because a lot of people don't realize, man, like where Turki Al-Sheikh got Josh Padley from. But a couple months before that, he had beaten one of Turki Al-Sheikh's favorite fighters, Mark Chamberlain. And so he remembered, like, holy shit, man. You know what I mean? Shakur needs an opponent, man. You know what I mean? Like, Mark Chamberlain is a hell of a fighter, and this guy beat him or whatever. And I mean, look, 2-3 days before that, the guy's an electrician,
Right. Yeah.
And then suddenly he's getting a $500,000 payday and a promise to be on, like, future cards, which I don't know if that's come to fruition yet, but I mean, he only fought back in February. So, I mean, I don't know what kind of promises were made or what kind of deals were made, but I think Turki would probably honor something like that if he told the guy, on an agreement, like, hey, you do this for me, step in on short notice, I'll try to make some things happen for you.
Yeah, he did really well too. Yeah.
He held his own ironically for 9 rounds as well before Shakur got him out of there. I mean, and now do you kick yourself? I know you're just talking about kind of beating yourself up on stuff, but will this change the way you train? Because obviously you were training for a 6-round fight, but will you go above and beyond saying, hey, you know what? Maybe my conditioning could be better because I might be training for a 6-rounder, but I might get another call for a 10 or 12-rounder.
Yeah, and I think I was playing it easy this camp around. I was just sparring wise, I was just limited to 6 rounds. I wasn't going past 6.
Right.
Which I mean, obviously I should have, but yeah, mindset training wise is just definitely gonna change. And it's simple things, maybe one more set, one more rep, little things like that.
Right.
Just, mentally we'll be on a different level.
What do you feel like? What do you feel like against you that night? Like, what do you think? You talked earlier about at the halfway point of the fight, somewhere around there, Ammo made the adjustments. You were actually in there with him. What adjustments did he make that you saw?
I want to say he started just pressing me more, a little more push, which my dad was telling me also not to give him the start, to stop him in his tracks pretty much. So that would meant me to throw at least a 1-2 or a jab to stop him on his tracks, to stop that forward momentum of him coming towards me. And as he closest space towards me, he was letting his hands go.
Yeah.
A couple times where he did back me up into a corner, so ropes. He threw a barrage of punches, but I think maybe 4 or 5 landed of like 10,
Yeah.
But I think it was the 6th round. After that, he started getting closer and closer to her, closer. So it was just punishment after punishment. Honestly, after that, I wasn't moving as well. I was being more stationary. So that adjustment for him obviously helped him a lot.
And now, do you think the performance against you, it obviously raised your stock? and of course, this is subjective. This is just your opinion. Do you think it hurts his stock? Do you still view him as a world title contender and an elite fighter, or do you think that a guy like you coming in on short notice, preparing for a 6th rounder, putting on a performance like that, and pushing him like that, does that lower his stock in the game a little bit?
I think there's going to be a lot of views. Like you said, it's very subjective, but some will say, yeah, so his stocks are lowered. Like you said, I'm coming, on a short notice and whatnot and what I did. But also, some people might not know the background that we had, so
Right.
and the style that I have compared to his. So that plays a big part on that. But also, after the fight, I was like, dude, go be a fucking world champion. So I could say I fought a world champion. So
Yeah.
So hopefully he does get it, and I know that's the push he's having behind his team and everybody hurting everybody. So hopefully that comes for him soon.
Now, do you think that fight that you were having success, more so based on what you were doing, or do you think on some level he may have taken you a bit lightly?
I think it was just a lot of me. I don't think he was taking me lightly.
Because it looked like he was trying pretty damn hard in there to get you out of there, man. It just looks like he just plain flat out couldn't based on what you were doing.
Yeah. Like I tell a lot of people, or like, you don't know what's going on in there. It's hard to see what we see.
Granted, yeah.
And like I said, my style of fighting, like, I'll make you guess a lot. I'll make you, not throw this punch. I'll make you regret throwing something. So
yeah,
I know he was hesitant of that at first, and obviously, his judgment was just throwing more.
It was definitely a masterful performance if you're looking at it from like, hey, like, here's a guy putting on a counter punching clinic. Like, this is a guy who's making, who's making every time Austin Williams does not connect, or even if he does connect and it's not a great shot, you're getting off and you are landing a great shot.
Yeah. So that's our style of boxing over here for my dad's gym. So.
Now, some of those counter right hands that you landed, I think, would have gotten a lot of guys out of there, man. Were you surprised that you weren't able to, hurt ammo more or even drop ammo?
Yeah, honestly, I like I said earlier with the self-doubt, I was telling myself a lot that I could hurt him. I was like, I'm able to hurt him.
Yeah.
He took a lot of shots pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. Credit to him. He ate some hard ones.
Yeah. He took some good licks to the head and to the body too. I think there was some punch stats where I had like 50 something body shots to like 20 of his.
Yeah.
So almost tripled, so he definitely took some body shots and some shots into the head too. So yeah,
I was looking at the CompuBox numbers again, man. You were actually, man, statistically wise, man, you were right there as far as accuracy, maybe even a bit more accurate than him.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I would invite you to go on Google and like look up the CompuBox numbers.
Okay.
And I think overall, I think you might have even landed more power punches than him.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it was 97 to 90 in power punches.
Oh wow.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I was just looking at them today. Now, you mentioned your father being a trainer.
Yeah.
Have you given a lot of thought? Like, I know you're 31, certainly got lots more for fighting to do, but have you thought about what your own life looks like after you hang the gloves up? Are you interested in making a clean Are you interested in making a clean break from boxing, or do you feel like you'll always keep a foot in it? Are you interested in coaching, training, promoting, any of that stuff?
I would love to coach. The best seat in the house. I love. Yeah.
And you're not getting punched.
That's smart. That's smart. So no, yeah, I do coach. When I was so I'm teaching now. I'm a middle school PE teacher now. Before that, I would coach at the gym. It was like, especially the summers was great for me, with everybody out of school. So I do eventually want to, when I hang them up, I do want to stay in the sport in any sort of way. Obviously, coaching will be my primary concern there, being a coach, helping others. And I mean, whatever, just giving advice to fighters, just being in the sport.
Yeah. Who are some guys from a fan standpoint that are doing it right now that you enjoy watching?
Well, right there and then I got to see with my own eyes live. Bam.
Yeah.
Such a great fighter. Great fighter. Who else? Inoue. I love Inoue.
Yeah.
Now in this new division, I don't know how well he's gonna do, but technically, like I love how sound he is. Uh, there's a lot of bunch of new up and coming guys that are good, but a little further behind, like what's his name? Gallito Estrada, the small. I mean, Bam,
Yeah.
Chocolatito, those type of guys. You know, those
Yeah.
just smart pressure, very technical fighters, great footwork, great fundamentals. Those type of fighters.
I'm happy to see. I'm happy to see the guys in the lower weight start to get some recognition. I
Yeah.
think for the longest time, man, those guys at the smaller weight divisions, didn't get recognized. It's like people forgot about everything from 135 pounds on down. You know what I mean? They just didn't recognize those guys. And then you see a guy like Bam actually work his way into the pound for pound list. And I think that helps. Then people start to say, wow, these 115, 118, 122, you know what I mean? Like there's great fights going on down there.
Yeah, and it's obviously you don't get your 160, 170, those power shots from them, but you see there's activity all 3 minutes. There's punches being thrown all 3 minutes. Those guys are those little batteries are just nonstop, and it's so technical. So it's really I love seeing smaller weight classes fight.
And now, have you thought out your career to the point of like, I've had guys on here who are very calculated and they have an exit strategy. You know what I mean? Like they know at what age they want to be done getting punched in the face, or they know how many fights they want to have before they get out of the sport. Are you playing it by ear, or do you have a plan like that?
No, just playing it by ear, honestly.
Yeah.
Like this last fight, it was never in my plans. It was never here. So
yeah,
it was I'm playing it by ear, honestly. See how it
yeah. I get that, man. I get the hi.
Hi.
I'm talking to your dad about the great fight that he just had. Did you watch it?
No.
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 my wife and him, they were in the hotel room. They get very nervous.
I get it. Yeah, I completely understand that. And so what's next, man? So so you fight again in September, but you don't have an opponent yet?
No. So like I said, we're still talking to the promoters, see what we're gonna come up with. So we'll see. Still in the air.
Okay. Listen, man, I appreciate you coming on here and doing this, man. I'm sure that I'm among many, man, but I can say, like I said, I've done 260 episodes, man. But you made a fan and a believer out of me, man. I must admit, man, I went into that fight like thinking, man, like, wow, this is going to be another probably easy victory for Ammo Williams. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say that I'm a huge Ammo fan, but he was certainly on my radar much more. But man, you really won me over, man. I like what you do in the ring, man. I certainly, I've got your number now. I'd love to stay in touch, man, and have you back on as things keep happening in your career.
All right, sounds good, man. Thank you so much. And then, like you, hopefully, I got a lot more people to looking after me.
Listen, I got no doubt about that, man. People are gonna be talking about that fight, and as I said earlier, I think it is gonna generate a groundswell for you, and good things are gonna start happening, man. I hope they are, man, because you're a guy that seems like you deserve it, man. Really.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Stay in touch, man, and as soon as your next fight comes up, man, or after it's done, man, we'll jump on and do it again, man.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, Ivan. Thanks, brother. All right, later, man. There he goes, folks. Ivan Vazquez, 11-1-2, 8 knockouts, fighting at middleweight. And go back, I implore you, if you're a boxing fan, go back and watch the performance he just put in July 19th against Austin Ammo Williams. Granted, in a losing effort, but you're going to look at it and say, this guy came out a winner that night because gutsy performance that he took on short notice. He was training for a 6-rounder. He got thrown into a 10-rounder against a guy that he knew, which I think certainly played to his advantage because, as he mentioned, he had a history with Ammo Williams. They had sparred numerous times. So he did know some of the things that were in Ammo's bag of tricks. He got hit low a couple times. As I said, the old huevos got banged up a bit on more than one occasion. Ammo lost a point, actually, in that fight. Eventually, the fight was stopped in round 9, more so, I think, because Ivan had not trained for a 10-rounder. He had only been sparring and preparing for a 6-rounder. So it seemed more out of exhaustion, even though it was technically on paper a TKO. It was more kind of like it was kind of more like him acquiescing and saying, I don't want to say like it was a no mas fight. It was, but it was really just more of Ivan running out of gas, more so than Ammo classically beating him. I wouldn't say Ivan was beat that night. Certainly a moral victory. And as I mentioned in my preamble, the intro before he got on here, it is going to win him over with promoters, with fans, which is very important. The court of public opinion, his peers. So I think he's gonna have some interesting offers and some interesting opportunities are going to lay ahead for him very soon, especially the style he fights. He is in there. He's not shying away from contact. He's an amazing counter puncher. Made Austin Williams miss quite a bit. And even when Ammo was able to hit him, it was usually met with beautiful counter punches to the body, amazing counter right hands. So I will say that having my ear to the pavement and covering the sport like I do, Ivan Vazquez was a name that I knew, but was more peripheral on my radar. Now he's a guy I really know, admire, respect, and will be invested in following his career. That's how much he wowed me and impressed me. So, and an awesome guy. Now getting to know him and having him on the podcast. So he's got a platform here as his career continues to progress. He's welcome on Off the Couch Boxing anytime, and a delightful guy to talk to. So, and congratulations to him. I know people might say, Rexx, you're congratulating him on a loss. This was not a loss. I implore people to go back and watch the fight. A moral victory, which sometimes are sweeter than actual victories. And in this case, I think that applies. So thank you to Ivan Vazquez for coming on here. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. Again, make sure to like and follow Off the Couch Boxing on Facebook. The Facebook page is Off the Couch Boxing and Podscum, both my podcasts, sharing one Facebook page. You'll get news on, updates on new episodes, when they're dropping, who will be on them, and any other big news in the fight game. If it's popping off in boxing, chances are I'm putting it up there, whether it's announcements on big fights, results, breakdowns, analysis, predictions, viral videos, something jumps off at a weigh-in or a press conference, anything, could be anything. I'm putting it up there and keeping you all in the loop. You know how we get down. If you follow the Facebook page, you're going to be informed. And of course, if you're here right now watching, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay tapped in. As I said, the most amazing and real boxing conversations, they are happening right here, right on this very channel. That is why we are the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of boxing podcast. Go check the playlist. Dive into those past episodes. There is literally something for everybody. I can guarantee you that. So dive on in. Enjoy the old episodes. New content coming your way every single week. And again, that's why we're the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of boxing podcast. And the good news is you too can be a champion. All you got to do is stay tapped in to Off the Couch Boxing and continue to roll with the champs. Peace.